Hi, my name is Rani Yahya. I'm 22 years old, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, 3 times Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, and Abu Dhabi World Submission Wrestling champion. I'm a professional MMA fighter with 13 professional fights in Brazil, United States, and Japan. And today, me and my friend Ikido, we're gonna work some sweeps from the guard, some situations that we use with the gi, adapted it to a no-gi situation. Okay, so to start, we are on the close guard. A good situation for me, for the guy on bottom, because right now the guy on top is very vulnerable for my attacks. I have attacks on his arm, I have chokes, or sweeps. That's what we're gonna work. I have a lot of options. And he doesn't have a lot of options, especially without the gi. So all he has to do from here is open my guard to try work the pass on the guard. So I'm in a better situation. So we're gonna start with one of the most basic sweeps of the jiu-jitsu. Okay, I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna go to the left side. So I'm gonna pass my left side, my left arm over his head and do this move, putting my elbow on the ground, okay? And then, after I put my elbow on the ground and have my arm behind his back, I'm gonna switch to my hand on the ground. But at the same time, when I put my hand on the ground, immediately I open my guard and I put my left foot on the ground. We gotta do this in one motion. And I gotta get here. Now, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hug his arm like this, look to my opposite side, and my left foot gonna drive my hip, gonna make me lift my hip in a diagonal direction. So I look to the opposite direction and my hip go in a diagonal direction. And I finish right here. We have to do this move in one motion. So right now, I'm gonna do a little bit faster and then we go back to the details. Okay, so let's go back to the details. So I'm gonna put my elbow on the ground to lift my upper body. Now I'm gonna switch to my hand on the ground. My hand gonna support my whole body. And when I put my hand, I open my guard and I put my left foot on the ground. My left foot have to make me do this move. The sweep is on my hip. And my hip moves depends my left foot right now. Okay? Again, I'm gonna kind of hug his arm a little bit. I don't have to get this, okay? I just need a good control right here. Or like this. If we get this, good for us. But we don't have to think too much because we're doing the move in just one motion. I just need this control. Now I'm gonna look back and my hip's gonna go in a diagonal direction. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna do one more time, faster. So the move have to be in one motion only. So let's go again. Then I finish on the mount position. The only way that he can defend my sweep from here is posturing. When I go to the sweep. So I come to the sweep and he lifts his hip. Yeah, that way he avoid my sweep. But when he lifts his hip, he give me a space to me to attack his neck because he lifts his neck at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hug his neck right here, sit, grab my hand, and then I put my back on the ground again. I'm gonna cross my legs on his low back right here, and then all I have to do is lift my hip. I go to the sweep, and right away he lifts his hips. That way he avoid the sweep. But look at the detail. When he lifts his hips, let's go again. Now he has the head down. But when he lifts his hips, yeah, he has the head up. So I'm just gonna follow his move. I'm gonna hug his head like this, okay? I sit and grab my hand. I can grab my hand over his arm or on this situation right here, okay? We have the guillotine the both ways. This way is better because he has less options to defend. Now I put my back on the ground. I always have to grab my hand before I put my back on the ground. Very important to me to cross the legs on his low back. Now all I have to do, I don't have to turn or do anything. I just lift my hips up and keep. Okay, now some details about the guillotine. If I'm going to the guillotine to this side right here, my left hand gonna grab my right hand in this position right here. I don't want to grab my wrist. If I grab my wrist, he can push my wrist, and then I don't have a strength in my arms. So that's the grip that I want. If I'm going to this side, I switch. My right hand grab my left hand. So basically what I'm gonna do, my right hand that is resting right now, that is supporting my body right now, just gonna grab my left hand like this. I don't need any move on my left hand right now. The other detail is very important, as I said before. I lock and then I put the back on the ground. I never put the back on the ground if I don't lock, because this situation here, I don't have space to grab my hand anymore. Right here, I have a lot of space.